Hey everybody. All right, so today we're going to go over the statistics study guide. So I want you to pay close attention to each question, especially if there are any that you missed on the practice quiz. Make sure that you watch this, please, and see as I explain how we got to those answers and what the question was asking. And if you have any further questions after watching this video, please always reach out to me. You can email me any questions and I will try to further explain that concept to you so that you're prepared for the test. All right, so we're just going to go through one by one. Number 1, the temperature of the community pool was measured each morning. The daily readings were 82 degrees, 79 degrees, 80 degrees, and 78 degrees. The temperature on the 5th day was 99 degrees. Okay, when I see this, I already see in this data set that I have an outlier. 99 is my outlier. Remember, an outlier is a number that's distant from all the rest of our data points. And so we know that 99 is an outlier here because that's far above the other 4 data points. And the question that it's asking is, which statistic is affected the most by the 5th day's temperature? So we know that an outlier mostly affects the mean of our data set, okay? So that would be the statistic that's most affected. The median wouldn't change very much, only by maybe a number or two. The mode doesn't change because there's no mode here actually. And the mean is the one that's affected the most because that 99 would really bring that total number up higher, okay? All right, box and whisker plot shows the distribution of weight among dogs in 2 different pet stores. So here we have 2 different box and whiskers plots, and we have some questions on them. How much greater is the median weight of the dogs in pet store 2 than pet store 1? So here we're comparing the medians. When I look at my box and whiskers plot, I have the median of pet store 2 is right here, which is right at 75. Okay, so I have 75. I'm going to do it up here. Minus, and it says how much greater, so I'm going to subtract the median of pet store 1, which is at 65. Oops. So 75 minus 65 is 10, so that would be my answer. They are 10 pounds greater, the median is. Okay, so there we were looking at the median. We remember to find the median on the box and whisker plot. I know I did that fast, but median is in the middle. So we know that our box shows the center of our data, and that point inside the middle of our box, that is our median right here. Okay? Always, 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 that's our median. Okay? So what is the range of pet store 1? We know that range is the... Oop, I'm going to erase that and try again. Sorry guys, I'm not writing on my smartboard, which is a little bit of an adjustment. Okay, so range we remember is the difference, and I'm just going to abbreviate that by DIFF. Okay, range is the difference. We do big minus small. So pet store 1 is right here. We know that these little points on the outside, this is our max and our min. Okay, so our minimum value and our maximum value. So we take our biggest, which is right at 80. So we have 80 minus our minimum, which is at 20. So we have 80 minus 20 is equal to 60. So our range of pet store 1 is 60. All right. Letter C, what is the interquartile range of pet store 2? Now, interquartile range, we can abbreviate that as IQR. Range, same word, that means difference, okay? So the interquartile just means that we're taking Q3 minus Q1, okay? So if pet store 2, we'll look here. Q3 is this 4th number right here. We have our minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and our maximum. So we're going to take this number And we're going to subtract this number to find out what our interquartile range. That means what is the range of the box in our box and whiskers. So here we have 80 minus 60, and 80 minus 60 is 20. So our interquartile range for Pet Store 2 is 20. Okay? Now we're looking at what percentage of Pet Store 2's data fall between 60 and 100. So we know that on a box and whisker plot, we have how many sections here? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And although these don't look even, we know that if we divide something into 4 sections, that's 4 quarters, which is 25% each. So each section of this box and whiskers plot represents 25% of the data. So when it says what percentage of Pet Stores 2's data fall between 60 and 100, we're looking between the 60 and 100, and I have 3 sections. So that means that 75% of my data falls in between 60 and 100. Okay? All right, number 3, resting pulse rates were recorded for a gym class of boys before they exercised. The line plot here shows the results. Okay, so we have it between 79 and 85. It wants to know how many boys are in the gym class. Well, remember when we're looking at line plots, dot plots, all of that, each dot or each X represents a data point. So each X here represents a boy in gym class. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here we can say that we have 16 boys. Okay? 16 boys, and it says, what is the range of the pulse rates? Remember, range is big minus small. So we have 85 minus 79, which gives us 6. Okay, how many boys had a pulse rate less than 81? So it says less than 81, which means we do not include 81. We want anything below that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boys. 6 boys have a pulse less than 81. What is the mode? Remember, mode means most often, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 data points on 80. But I also see 1, 2, 3, 4 data points on 83. So that means that we have 2 modes here, 80 and 83 are our modes. Okay? And then our median, remember median in the middle. What we can do here is take 1 high, 1 low, so 1. Going back and forth. Almost there. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. And what I like to do is when I get to my mode, I am a little bit confused because I had 16 boys, but I have 1 left over, which shouldn't be the case. So anytime you're finding the median, I want you to make sure that you count. So when I get there, let's say, okay, this is supposedly my median, but I need to double check that. I should have the same number on the left side as I do the right side if I'm truly in the middle. So let's look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on my left side. So I should have 8 on my right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be my 8th one. So truly right here, this is our median, which still falls at 82. Okay, but that's really important because it's really easy to forget what you've crossed off. So I really want you to make sure that you double check that median. I have 8 on this side, 8 on this side. So I am good to go. My median is 82. Okay. All right, number 4. The ages of the employees of Cosmic Inc., a software company, are displayed below. A, how many employees were surveyed? Okay, so this right here is a histogram that we have. We have our intervals at the bottom showing their ages and the number of employees, the frequency, how many people are that age. So it looks like between 10 and 19, we have one person. Between 29 and 20, I'm sorry, and 29, we have 13 people. Between 30 and 39, it looks like we have 11. Between 40 and 49, we have 4. And then between 50 and 59, we have one person. So how many employees in total? We would have to add up these numbers. 1 plus 13 is 14, plus 11 would be 25, plus 4 is 29, plus one more would give us 30. So we have 30 employees. Okay. How many employees are between 20 and 49 years old? So now we're looking between 20 and 49. So that's going to be a couple different intervals. So we're going from 20, so right here, all the way to 49, so right here. So we're going to add up just these three numbers. We have 13 plus 11 would give us 24. Plus 4 more would give us 28. So we have 28 employees in between 20 and 49 years old. Okay. How many more employees are between 29 or 20 and 29? So we're looking here. How many more are in 20 to 29 than 40 to 49? So here and here. So we have 13 that are 20 and 29, and we're subtracting our 40 to 49 is 4, so that would give us 9 more. We have 9 more employees that are between 20 and 29 than 40 and 49. Okay? All right, sometimes certain measures of central tendency are better to use than others. Write mean, median, or mode to indicate which would be best for the situation described. So this usually is best choice to describe data unless there is an outlier. So we know that that word outlier, that mostly impacts the mean. And we usually look to the average or the mean of our data normally unless there is an outlier, because the outlier impacts the mean more than any other data measure of central tendency. So the mean would be that first one. This usually is the best choice to describe a data if you want the most popular value. Now, most popular, that means most often. So we're going to go for mode there because mode is most often. And then this last one, this is usually the best choice to describe the data where there is an outlier. So remember, the mean and the median are probably our best two descriptors. And when our graph is symmetrical, then they're going to be about the same number. Okay, but if our graph is skewed or has an outlier, we said that the median is probably the more accurate because it's least affected by that. So anytime you have an outlier, you actually want to kind of go for that median because your outlier is going to pull your mean either way up or way down. Okay. Number 6, describe the graphs below as symmetrical, left skewed, or right skewed. Okay, so when we're looking at this, we have our first graph, graph A. If we're looking here, our tail is on the left side, so this would be left skewed. Okay, when we're looking at this middle graph, here our left side and our right side mirror each other, and remember when we said that when they look alike on both sides, this is a symmetrical graph. Okay, make that a little bit smaller. Make that smaller so we have more room. Okay, and then our last one, this has a tail to the right, so that has data points that are pulling that mean up. The mean is going to be bigger than the median on this one, so that means this is right skewed. Okay, so just remember, anytime that it's right skewed, that's actually going to pull the mean up higher than the median. And if it's left skewed, that's actually going to pull the mean lower than the median. Okay, so this is how we would label these three graphs. Make a line plot for the golf cart data below. Find the mean, median, and mode and range for the golf scores. Okay, so here we have golf scores. First, we got to make a line plot. So that means we have to put our little X's on here. So 39, we have one for 39, and then we have 46, 48, another 48, 39. And I know it seems silly, guys, but seriously, cross off these, because if you don't, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't do that one yet, and you're going to accidentally do one twice, or it's easier to skip one. So as you do it, please, please, please cross off. Okay, and 45. And another strategy to make sure that you really did get all the data points, I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers here. So I should have 10 X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Okay. So I should be good to go. I have my golf scores in my line plot. So now we want the mean. That means we need to add all of the numbers together. So we have 39 plus 39 is 78, plus 42 is 120, plus 44 plus 45 plus 46. So we should be at 255, plus 48 plus 48 plus 48, and then plus 51. So we should be at 450 here when I added them up. And I've already counted, and I said that I have 10 data points. So that means I'm dividing by 10. And 450 divided by 10 gives us 45 for our median. Okay? So our median here is 45. Our mean, I'm sorry. The mean is the average. We add them all up and divide by how many we have, and we have 45 there. Now for our median, remember we can cross off. So I'm going to use a red pen just to mark off, or I'll just put a dot by them so we can still see them. One low, one high, one low, one high, one low, one high, low, high, low, high. So that means my median should be right here. And remember my trick, I'm going to count how many do I have to the left, and that should match the number I have to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm good. So my median right here in the middle is going to be in between my 45 and my 46. And I know the number exactly in between 45 and 46 is 45 and a half. Okay. And if we didn't know that exact number, remember to find that we would take 45 and add 46 and then divide by 2 to find the average of those two numbers. Okay. So 45 would be the average of those two numbers right here. Okay. All right, the mode means most often. I have 3 48s, and that's the most of anything here. I'm going to switch back to my blue. So I have 48 for my mode. All right, and then my range, remember range is the difference. So range is the biggest, mine is the smallest. So we have 51 minus 39. And when I take 51 minus 39, I get 12. So my range here is 12. The scores range 12 points. Okay, so that is it for number 7. Easy peasy. Just remember our statistics song and find the mean, median, mode, and range. Number 8, the high temperatures for 2 weeks are shown to the right. So here we have them right here. Make a box and whiskers plot to display this data. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do before I do anything is list them from least to greatest. And I'm going to do that at the bottom of my screen here. So I'm looking and I see that I have a 61, and that's looking like my lowest. So 61, and I see that I have another 61. Okay, now I'm looking for anything above 61. Here's a 62, 64, 64, And then next, it looks like I have 66. And then I have 69 and another 69. And then now I'm into the 70s. So here I have a 70, 72, 73, 74. And then my last two give me a 78 and another 78. Okay, so here's my data set from least to greatest here at the bottom. Now, I know my minimum is very easy to detect, okay? So here I have my minimum of 61, okay? And I'm going to fix that. That kind of looks like a B, 61, okay? And then I have my maximum of 78. So those two are really easy to detect, okay? And then now median, we know median in the middle. So we're going to mark off one low, one high. Well, we've already got one low, one high. So we're going to continue doing that. And I'm just underlining them because it's easier to see my numbers still, because I'm still going to need them after this. One low, one high. Now it looks like I've got two stuck in the middle. Now I want to remember, I like to count in my medians. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right. So that means I am good. And I'm between the two of the same number. So that means my median here is 69. I'm struggling with that a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. Q1, that's quartile 1. So that means, remember, when I do that, I can draw a circle around. This is the lower quartile, the bottom half of my data. This is the upper quartile, the upper half of my data. And when it's asking for Q1, we want the middle of my lower quartile. So here I can look and I can mark off one low, one high, one low, one high, one low, one high. So I have 3 on the left, 3 on the right. So 64 is my quartile 1, 64. Okay. Now on the right side, the upper half of my data, that's where I'm going to find quartile 3. Okay. So if I'm looking at this upper half of the data, I can do one low, one high, low, one high, one low, one high. So it looks like 73 is my upper quartile. I do have 3 on the right and 3 on the left. So that is indeed my quartile 3 is 73. Okay, so now that I have my 5 data points, I can draw my box and whiskers. So remember, on this, your box and whiskers is made up of those 5. It's a 5-number summary. So my minimum is 61, so 61 comes in between 60 and 62, so I'm going to put a dot there. And then I have my maximum of 78, so I'm going to put a dot on 78. My median is 69, so in between 68 and 70, there goes a dot. Q1 is 64, so right on 64, I'm going to put a point, and then on 73, I'm going to put a point. So I've got my 5 points. Now, the trick that I see people struggling with is, how do I connect these dots? Okay, well, you would connect them like normal, or like, sorry, not like normal. The middle, remember, has a box around it, so my Q1 and Q3 make up the box. So I can just draw a line through my median showing that's truly my middle point. And then you just add the whiskers. That's why I like to call it a box and whiskers plot versus just a box plot. Same thing, but we know that we have to add our whiskers to connect our minimum and our maximum here. All right. Last one on the study guide. So we have the data set list the heights of the Houston Rockets, or Houston Rockets. It's Houston County, Houston, Texas. Anyway, players during the 2011-2012 basketball season. Complete the frequency table using an interval of 5. Complete the histogram, okay? Whoa, that's a lot of stuff going on here. So we are going to first, let's complete the frequency table because that's going to be a little bit easier. So it says in intervals of 5. So that means that these next intervals, we've done 65 to 69. So this is going to be 70 to 74. And then we're going to have 75 to 89. And then 90 to 94. And 95 to 99. Okay? So, that says 99. Hopefully you can read that. All right, so now we are going to finish our frequency table by just marking them off. 81 falls... Oh, I totally messed that up. Man, you guys aren't even here live to stop me. Okay, sorry. This was 75 to 80. And that's not black. Oh, that's not black either. All right. Let's see. Okay, here we go. To 80. Sorry about that, guys. And then we have... And that's not even right. Oh my goodness. Okay. 75 to 79. We all make mistakes. 80, just Miss Mays is making them a lot tonight. So we have 80 to 84. And then this would be 85 to 90. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, and now I think we can do this. So this number was an 81. Yep, it was an 81. So that would go right here between 80 and 84. Then we have another in between there for 80. And then we have 79. So 79 would go right in here. Then we have 272, so I'm going to do both of those together. So we have 1, 2 for 72. A 78, which goes in here. An 82, between 80 and 84. We have 2 80s, so I'm going to do those two again together. 1, 2. A 76. An 87. 65, 79, an 82, an 80, a 79, an 81, 71, and a 77 goes there. Okay. So just double check. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 data points. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Perfect. Okay. So now I can complete my histogram. And remember, a histogram has no gaps. No spaces there. If I can finish that. Okay. So by no gaps, I just mean there's no spaces in between my bars. So they don't have the heights written down here, so we have to put our frequency of heights, and I'm going to type that for your sake and for mine. So let's go ahead and I'm going to type this in. So we have 65 to 69. And I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Okay, and then we got 70 through 74. And then we have 75 through 79. Write that down so we can see it. Then we have 76 through, 80 through 84. And 85 through 90. Okay, and I'm going to spread these out. I know if you wrote them on your paper and you didn't spread them out, that's okay, because you can't really move your pencil marking on your paper. But I can move this, so I'm going to. Okay, so here we have our points. Here are intervals on the bottom. This shows the heights, okay? And now we need to put the frequency of them. So here for 65 to 69, in between this would be 0 at the very bottom, and so in between 0 and 2 is 1. So we would go over like that. For between 65 and 69 we have 1. 70 and 74 we have 3, so 3 comes on that line. So we have 2, 3, 4, so we go up to the 3. And that's 74 to 79. Remember, no space in between the bars. 75 to 79 we have 6, so I go up to the 6 and connect that. 80 and 84 we have 8, so I go all the way up to the 8 and I'm connecting that. And then my last one would be 85 to 90. So, and that's only 1, so it would just be in between the 0 and the 2. That's at 1. Okay? And this is our histogram. So looking at this, I would say that this is left skewed since the left kind of has a tail here. So that could be a word that we could use to describe our data set here, and we have a cluster between 75 and 84 is our biggest cluster. Okay, and I don't see any gaps in our data, so that is about it. I'm pretty sure that is the last one, and it is. So thank you for watching this. I hope that this answered a lot of questions. If you have any further questions, please email me. You guys are going to rock this test. You guys have been rocking the digital learning day, so I really, really appreciate you and your participation. All right, have a good one.